Hello and welcome. Today we're going to review the patch notes that came out on Thursday morning, evening, one of those, and we're going to see what it says. Right now I'm currently on UniteDB, so if you want to check this out for yourself, that's where you can go. But anyway, this was patch 1.4.1.2, and first up we have Dragonite, which has a slight nerf, it looks like. You know, Hyper Beam has been, the damage has been reduced a little bit on it, just needed. Extreme Speed has been buffed a little bit, so that they're trying to encourage using Extreme Speed more over the Dragon Dance Hyper Beam build, which I get it. It could be useful to do that at some point, but right now Dragon Dance is just so strong with Hyper Beam, so who knows. Next up, Serena. Serena was, in my opinion, too powerful. So it looks like there's a slight reduction in a few of Serena's abilities here. And, you know, Grassy Glide took a big hit, it looks like, in terms of the cooldown, and slow removed. Yeah. Stomp got hurt a little bit too, although I think Stomp might heal more. I forget if I read that correctly or not. Whatever. So Serena also was nerfed, and Talonflame got a bit of a nerf, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. Fly is super powerful with Talonflame, so I do get why they nerfed it a little bit. But they also basically made it so that if you hit an enemy Pokemon, the cooldown is reduced on Fly. So basically, they don't want you using it as an escape as much, is my read on it, because essentially, if you hit a Pokemon with Fly, the cooldown will reduce to what it was before they made the cooldown more. So that's my read on that. And Lucario. Lucario got nerfed again, and I don't really think it needed it anymore. I feel like this is less a nerf, more of a balance change. I think they reduced Meteor Mash and Extreme Speed, and they've improved Close Combat and Power Up Punch. Well, improved Power Up Punch, and by that I mean they fixed a bug. But effectively, it was a buff on Power Up Punch. So, in a sense, they're just trying to encourage you to use Close Combat and Power Up Punch more, rather than just a straight nerf to Lucario. Alright, so let's get into the buffs. First up, Charizard. Charizard got a buff where you can use Flamethrower and Fire Blast while moving. So basically, you can be a hit and run attacker, or all-rounder. Just duck in, throw the attack, move out, or throw the attack while you're moving out. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I'd like to potentially test that at some point. And Decidueye. Decidueye is prior to this patch anyway, it's considered the worst Pokemon in the game. So what they did was they've improved Spirit Shackle. They've increased the range on Spirit Shackle. And Spirit Shackle also now has 3 stacks, so you can use it 3 times. You know, and I believe my understanding of that would be each stack has its own cooldown. So in theory, you can just have a rotating cycle of Spirit Shackles, which seems good to me. We'll see if that improves Decidueye in the game at all. Hopefully it would. Razor Leaf has been buffed a little bit. The damage has increased. And so Razor Leaf might be a little bit more viable. Razor Leaf was already kind of viable in my opinion, but honestly, you know, Decidueye in general wasn't viable, so I get why they're buffing a couple of things. Leaf Storm also got a buff. Leaf Storm was Decidueye's worst move upon release, so any buff to Leaf Storm is going to be good. Machamp. According to UniteDB, Machamp's a little tankier, a little bit more consistent, a bit more damaging, and a bit more ranged. Jack of all trades buff. Yeah. And yeah, so they buffed Karate Chop, Dynamic Punch, and damage self-buff effects are now activating even if the opposing mon isn't CC'd. That's actually... That's pretty good. Hey, submission buff. All right, Gengar. We have got Gengar. So Gengar was probably right down there with Decidueye in terms of its strength. So it needed a buff. I've felt that Gengar has needed a buff for quite some time. So it's good to see a little bit of that. They've improved Dream Eater so that if you KO an opposing Pokemon, the cooldown resets. So you can use Dream Eater repeatedly, which is nice. It's kind of reminiscent of the Sludge Bomb Hex combo that was prevalent early on. So that's a good sign. Garchomp. We've got Garchomp. Garchomp has been another one that's needed a buff, and we're looking at a little bit of a buff, or not a little bit of a buff, a lot of bit of a buff. So Dig increases defense and special defense plus 350, and instead of just the plus version, and Dig Plus increases the knock up, so basically a stun. And Earthquake will now slow, and Earthquake slow increases near the center. Okay, these are cool things. Garchomp's all about getting in your face and using melee, so being able to slow an opponent with your moves is a very positive thing. I feel like it'd be good comboed with Razor Claw even, potentially. Razor Claw probably already is a good thing with Garchomp, but I feel like if you already have slow, you can increase the slow more, and you can just keep people right on top of you while you're wailing away on them with your basic attacks. Dragon Rush increases slow when used with Claw. Okay. And reduce damage taken by 30% when active. Dragon Rush Plus is now unstoppable. That's helpful later game. And Dragon Claw will slow, and attack speed boost removed. Nice. Gardevoir, stealth buffs or bugs, probably the latter. Future Sight. New cooldown reset from Future Sight Plus now applies to base Future Sight. Okay, so they think that's probably a bug, but oh well, that's where we are. Gardevoir effectively has a buff that may go away because it's a bug. Zeraora, Volt Absorb. Fix an issue where after Zeraora was knocked out and respawned, Volt Absorb's effect was still active. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, they fixed that. So in a sense, it's a bug or a nerf, but it's actually just a bug fix. Wild Charge. Fix an issue with the increased number of spark attacks was canceled by full heal. Oh, okay. So they fixed that as well. Interesting. And battle items. Attack speed, or the X attack now increases basic attack speed as well as damage, which is interesting to me. And also Slow Smoke now reduces basic attack speed, and the duration is increased, and there's a higher slow effect on it. Greater slow effect on it? Yeah, I guess that's the way to do it. But yeah, that's the patch notes for Thursday. I'm recording this Saturday live on stream, but if you'd like to hang out in streams or otherwise see more video content, be sure to subscribe. See you next time.